Welcome everyone to our BG5 Live. Great to have all of you here live in our Zoom room, and great to have you if you're listening via the recording as well as listening on Facebook. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Today is May 25th, 2021. This is episode 106, and today we're going to be taking a look at two traits. So today we're going to be taking a look at trait 20 in quality 6. We're also going to be taking a look at trait 16. So what we're going to be exploring is contemplation that leads to wisdom and skill. So take a look at your design, see, especially if you are live here in our Zoom room, see if you have the trait 20 or the 16. As we go along, we would love to hear from you as well. If you are live here on the Zoom room, if you are live via Facebook, you can also type into the chat as well. We'll be following along with that as well. So before we get started, let's say hello to our panel. So let's start with Natalie. Hey, Natalie, welcome.
Thank you. Welcome as well. And
Great.
welcome everybody in our Zoom room and in Facebook Live. I'm happy to be here this week.
Yes, great to have you. Great, good, really cute haircut. Love it, love it.
Yes.
Wonderful. And Linda. Hey, Linda.
Hello, welcome everyone, and I'm happy to be here to be contemplating in the now and perfecting my BG5 life skills.
Perfect. I love it. And also, again, please send some healing energy to Anna. She's still recovering, so she'll be away for a while. So continue to send your prayers and healing energy her way. All right, let's jump in and get started. So we are once again taking a look at trait 20 as well as trait 16. So if we take a look at it within the context of May, it wraps up May. So May's theme, again, is getting individual attention through communication and action to manifest in form. So we took a look at the driver and in the 2, the direction of self, the receptive. We took a look at assimilation in the 23, the elimination of intolerance and the acceptance of diversity. We took a look last week at contribution, leading by example. And today we are in contemplation. And we're also going to be taking a look at skills as well, because we're in contemplation in quality number 6. So we're going to be moving into skills sometime either later today or tomorrow. I'm not quite exactly sure, but soon. So contemplation is I am now. So it's contemplation here and now. It's the awareness that transforms understanding into right action. So we're going to take a look at what the 20 is all about. We're also going to take a quick look at the 16 as well. The reason being that next week we skip over the 16 and we move right along to the 35. So we're also going to take a look at the 16 of skills. This is enthusiasm, and it is the skill of living. So we're going to take a look at both the 20 and the 16, purpose fulfilled through form. Now, one of the things that's very interesting, and we'll talk about this as we go along, whenever you see 20, so you can see 20 as the core essence, whenever you have 20 as the core essence, what you have directly on the other side that is the grounding is the 34. This is actually unusual because what it does is it creates a circuit. Not only does it create a circuit, it creates the pure manifesting or the pure express builder, the express builder strength of the 3420, right? This strength of charisma. So one of the things that you may have noticed over this past week, because we're now coming to the end of it, one of the things that you may have noticed is that you may have had a lot of generative energy. You may have had a lot of go, go, go energy. It was really funny. I was talking with my husband yesterday. He's an advisor. He's like, I have all this energy. I don't know what to do with all this energy. Why do I have all this energy? And I'm like, well, it's the strength of charisma. It's the 3420. That's exactly why. So many of you may have been picking up on that and had a boost of extra energy, or it could be just the opposite as well. So just an interesting piece to notice. So let's, I don't know if Linda or Natalie, you want to add anything to that before we jump into focusing on contemplation, but I just thought it was an interesting thing to pay attention to. Also, I just wanted to point out we do have the 16 currently active as well, and we've talked about it before as part of the future direction also. All right.
I feel like we have to jump into, we have lots of things to cover.
All right, so let's jump in. So let's start with contemplation. We're going to start with the 20, recognition and awareness in the now, which transforms understanding into right action. And contemplation is purely existential. And it's the potential, it is the potential for evolutionary change. And the potential for evolutionary change hidden in every moment of existence, right? Because this is also contemplation in the now. So it's that evolutionary change that can happen at any moment of existence, happening in the now. It gives voice to intuitive insights. It recognizes needed behaviors. It has a commitment to higher principles and manifesting unique self expression through action. One of the things that's very unique about the 20 is that it connects to three other traits, right? It connects to the behavior of self in the 10, it connects to power, personal power in the 34, and it also connects to intuitive clarity in the 57, right? So it is the voice of all three of those connections, those traits. So you often see when you are not looking. I love this. You often see when you're not looking or hear when you're not listening, right? It's something that's present in the now. So when you, in a sense, let go of trying to hear or let go of trying to see, that's when you're able to see or when you're able to hear. And simply by living and working as your unique self, you become a living example who can influence and empower others to experience and share their unique expression as well. So it is about empowerment. It is an individual expression. And again, it has the ability to express three different traits as well. So it is quite powerful, and it's one of those traits that we're moving into as well as we shift into 2027 and as we shift into this new paradigm of the individual. This is about individual leadership as well. So it's very, very powerful. So I would love to hear, Linda, I know this is a part of your design. So I'd love to start with you and just hear a little bit about your experience in actually having this trait and having this trait as a part of a strength as well.
Yes, for me, this is a strength. I have the 5720. Yeah, I really give voice to, and sometimes I don't even know what I'm saying, what I intuitively feel or sense. It's really about sensing, and I use it a lot when working with clients. I'm just, having a conversation, listening, but also, and not really with the aim to understand everything at once. But sometimes when I go to through a presentation or a topic, sometimes I instinctively hold on a different, like a topic, what I normally wouldn't do. And then it's exactly the topic where the issue is for the client. It's amazing. I really sometimes blurt out things, and then I'm thinking when I'm saying it, why do I do that? It's taking a lot of time and it's not accurate. I don't know. And then they say, oh my goodness, this is exactly what I need to hear now. So it's powerful. And really for me, because until I was like 38, I was not living myself. I of course had this talent as well, but now understanding it and also being more present in the now, because that's it's really important to be authentic myself, and to surrender to the pulse, because I don't know what's going to happen. I really have to surrender. I really have to trust that what has to be said in the now, in this moment, when I have the interaction with someone, and I am invited also to do so. And because I'm working with clients, I have the invitation to do so. Yeah, the most beautiful things happen. And often I just say it and then I'm not able to recall it. It's there in the moment and then it's gone. And when I work with Natalie, for example, I sometimes have, it's brain waves, the channel of the brainwave. And she said, stop, I have to write it down. It's really good. I said, I hurry up because I can't recall it within 10 minutes because it's there. I need to say it then. And I really have to, write it down. So I really feel it's powerful. And also with the other connections to the 34 and the 10, it has a lot of empowerment in it. But it's really important how I feel it to really use this trait properly is to be yourself.
Yes.
And to surrender and to not get in your head that you think I need now to do something or to say something or to tell my higher principles or whatever. No, surrender. It will be drawn out of you in the moment. So that's my experience. I love this. I feel like this is what how I work with clients. Yeah.
I love that. And really beautifully illustrated. I love, the you really highlighted this, you often see when you're not looking and hear when you're not listening. What you were sharing and how you work with the clients, it's like all of a sudden it's there. And it's not that you were trying to force it or trying to see something or try to listen for something. All of a sudden it's there and it's there in the now. Yeah, really beautiful. Thank you for sharing that, Linda. How about for you, Natalie?
Yeah, so I see this a lot in Linda and her brainwaves, and they can be very powerful in what she actually hears me say, or then get me to a point. So she's also my personal coach at times, right? We just do it back and forth if necessary, and then really being able to get to the core of things it's amazing. It is amazing how that operates, and and as Linda says, and also Lisa shares, I say things that people wish I could repeat or write down what I say, but I can't because I don't really know what I just said. It just comes out of your mouth. It doesn't go through your brain. You don't think about what you are about to say, right? It just comes out. I know part of it. I don't have the 20, but I have the 57 on the other side. And if I'm just, in tune and correct and whatever, I also can have things that I hear and just start sharing. But the actual 20 has this way of presenting itself, right, in the now, and without thinking of it, not being able to control. And also it might be there, but it may not be there, right? You may work with a client and nothing comes because
Right.
it's a wave. It's individual wave. So yeah, it's an interesting trait.
Yeah.
Actually.
So just like Natalie said, it can be there or not, right? It's, in the moment or not.
Yeah.
Yep. And one of the things that Linda also talked about is when you're invited. Now, when we took a look at Linda's design, we can see that she is an express builder. So why would an express builder need to be recognized and invited? This is a this is a projected or a strength that needs to be recognized and invited for it to work properly. So even though she's an express builder, this particular strength, because of the nature of this strength, does need to be recognized and invited for it to operate and work properly. Yeah. Is there anyone, Natalie, that that is available or would or has the trait or would like to share? Oh, you're muted.
Blah, blah, blah. So for now, not really. I know Lisa has this trait, but she's sharing in the chat, and she has the full strength of the 10-20. So there are actually 3 ways that the 20 can be in a strength, right? In the integration circuitry.
Yep. So
Yeah.
the 20 can be connected to the 10, right? The 20 can be connected to the 34, or like Linda, the 20 connected to the 35. And like I said, what's interesting right now and what it has been for the last week. So just kind of check yourself for the last week because of this 34-20, right? Because 34 is what actually grounds the 20. It is connected to the energy resource. So again, you may have had this, go, 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 go kind of energy and not know where it comes from. Right. Or you may experience it in, a slightly different way. It could also exhaust you as well. I noticed that for myself last week, I felt really exhausted. It was almost like it was too much energy and it can exhaust you as well. So it can be on either end. So it'd be interesting to hear from anyone if you have experienced it over the past week, whether you've had a lot of energy or kind of burnt out or fried energy. That's kind of how I felt
Yeah,
last week.
me too.
Yeah,
more kind of the opposite side, although I'm a builder, right?
right.
Yeah,
Exactly. That's how I was feeling too. I was just exhausted. I just couldn't. It's like my brain was tired. Everything was tired. I didn't want to do anything. So, like I said, it's either there or it's not there, right? There or not. All right. So let's take a look at this in quality 6. So quality 6, this is part of actually the background frequency that we're moving into in 2027. This contemplation in quality 6 of wisdom. And remember, quality 6 is also the leader. So this is contemplation, which results in the ability to apply understanding. So the elevation is the ability to transform individual awareness for general application and understanding. This is the establishment for the better of society, values, ideals, and their patterns, and how they can be understood and applied. Right. So it is this wisdom in the now, but also this wisdom in the now in how it can be applied in a very practical way that can benefit society, right? So it can be understood, not only understood as a thought, but also how it can literally be applied. And the challenge is the ability to transform individual awareness for general application for the mental challenge. It's the same as above, but motivated by the self-satisfying mental challenge rather than through altruism. So instead of for the benefit of society, it could be just for the benefit of yourself, or for the benefit of the mental challenge, but not necessarily have it be grounded in reality. So I find that this is really fascinating in part of what we're moving towards, and it also plays in with the 16. So I'm going to go to the next slide, and then we'll talk more about this. So when we're taking a look at the 16, right, the 16 is the era of planning. It's part of the era of planning, this illusion and delusion that we're currently in, this false enthusiasm, this tendency to express fantasy as fact. Right. So this is part of the background frequency, part of the pattern, right? And we can look at it specifically as the pattern of work. So it's almost like fantasy is more important than facts, right? And nowadays, it's really hard to determine what is true and what is not. what is fantasy, and what is facts. Again, what we're moving to, and it's starting to awaken in the era of the individual, is moving towards this wisdom contemplation, which results in the ability to apply understanding. And this is about using wisdom in a very practical way, not as illusion and delusion, not as, false things appearing as real, right? Not fantasy more important than facts, but really being able to utilize that wisdom in a practical way. So I would love to hear from Linda, Natalie, and if there's anyone else that's currently live in our Zoom room, if you would like to share anything that you see, either in if you have this particular trait, or if you have, or if you've seen kind of the process that we've been going through on the planet in moving from the era of planning to the era of the individual, and what you may see.
Oh yes, I'm so looking forward to this shift.
Mm.
And I already feel a little bit that it changes, but the era of planning has still a tight grip on us. But what I feel, what I sense right now is that we become more aware that lots of things that are happening right now or happened in the past maybe are not that the same or happened in the way that we think it happened. So I really, and also what I really see already, also like an example shifting, is that people, or the influencers on social media, they are becoming more authentic. Where you first only saw the fantasy, the beautiful cars and the beautiful tight bodies and no wrinkles and that kind of stuff, you see now people share no filters, etc. And those people are also our leaders, kind of, in our perception of what our lives would look or have to look like, in a way. So I already see that we don't buy anything anymore. And what I really love, because about the 20 is, it is individual, it has to come from an authentic place. We will want leaders that have wisdom, don't pretend, or because they have lots of money or just happen to be famous, that they are influential. No, we want to see that they have the knowledge and the authentic individuality to empower us and guide us towards the future. And then they can help us understand why we are doing things and why we're heading towards a direction. Because now I feel like it's kind of hidden. There is a hidden agenda. And to me, it feels like it's in the now. The 20, it's in the now. We need leadership now. No filters, no hidden agenda. We need it now. So I really, it's practical, because we now need to hear the wisdom to move us forward. So that's how I feel. And I feel like the balances are changing, and the era of planning is going to wobble, but it's not tilted yet. So we are getting thrown forwards and backwards between our awareness of things need to change, things are changing, we don't know where we are heading yet. And we are starting to see that some things maybe are not as we always been told that they were. But we also don't know the wisdom yet, so interesting times to see how it works. And also for me, the 20 last week was an invitation to really feel what is your, and maybe today with the sixth line, what is your wisdom? What is it that comes up for you as an individual? And that's what we need in the future. We need to know who we are, and then moving forward as a humanity. You're muted.
You're muted. Ha!
There we go.
Yay!
I was trying to get the background noise.
Of the mowers.
Yeah. So what was I going to say? Oh, I was going to say that this leadership of quality 6 is leading by example, right? And it's so leaders leading in a very individual way in the now by example.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think we talked about this last week with the one person dancing, right? And
Yes.
right?
Yeah. Oh,
because
yeah.
we've been going through these traits that are very individual, right? And this is the individuality in the now. So what are you doing in the now? And you lead by example. You're the one that gets up and dances first, right? Then the next person joins in, and then everyone starts joining in. So, and I think what Linda said too is we are kind of at this precipice between, we're still in the era of planning and not quite yet in the era of the individual. So we're sort of balanced between the two and not really knowing what's true, what's false. And I often say this, I believe everything and I believe nothing, right? Because who knows? Maybe everything that we have been taught is a lie. We've been in illusion and delusion for at least my entire lifetime, right? So, who knows? So it'll be interesting to see as we move more and more into the era of the individual, when that tipping point is that that we are more in the wisdom side and using wisdom in a practical way and starting to reveal what the fantasies have been of the past. Yeah, very interesting. Yeah, Natalie.
Yeah, so love the sharing also, Linda, of how you kind of pointed it out where we are at. And what came to my mind is we talk so much about, follow your decision-making strategy. It's all about energy, your body intelligence, which is what we try to, not what is, what in essence is reality and your guide. And then with that, and for sure, human design didn't came into the world at the time it came into the world, right? It came into the world for us to be able to go into the future and take this next step, right? And now more and more people are getting acquainted with it, and BG5 bringing it to the masses. No, but it being easier to digest, maybe. So also, I've studied in university, and those that are that have wisdom are those that have studied and that have an education, that have whatever
degrees,
degrees, and know a lot, and etc. Whereas we are guided by energy. We are guided by our own energy through our decision-making strategy, guided in the world in how we collaborate and work together. And that's what we teach in BG5 certification, OC16, how we tribe in groups, right? How actually businesses operate. We think there is structure and whatever, but we all know that business gets done at the water cooler or over dinner or whatever, not in the, so, I also can't wait. That's actually where my point was going, to have the actual wisdom that is wisdom in the now, in the feeling, in the energetics of the moment of, what to do, where to go, whatever, being an example for others to. And we will be able, and I think we are more and more able as we are at this precipice into feeling also and discerning for ourselves, you got a point and you're just a lot of blah, 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 which is, yeah. And so we as humanity are also growing into this. And I think, right, this last 7-year cycle is amazing in what we experience ourselves already, right? In how I see myself transformed over this COVID year. Because in essence, for me, that was a wake-up call, right? We were all extracted from being together and just going with whatever whomever said what we had to do, and just being thrown back on ourselves and being able to discern. So yeah, interesting. And then we have a few sharings also in our Zoom room. So Debbie says, as the three of you have been sharing, so this is about the 20 being in the background frequency, and Debbie is an innovator and she has the 34. So all of a sudden she gets the energy of go, 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 like the express builder, right? So I realized I have had the energy. Saturday I was on the go, and yesterday I still had energy, and usually Mondays I'm exhausted. Yet that is not how I felt. So making use of the energy that was available with the background frequency. And then Lisa shares, I find the few people that I know who are not self and confused about what is really happening, try to, and I don't know this word, cajole me, cajole me, I don't know,
Cajole.
to
Yeah.
cajole. Okay, nice word. It looks Spanish, but so to buy me into their reality, and I just stay present and watch without buying into the confusion, which seems to make them mad. And that's also what we see a lot happening.
Yeah.
Right? If I say, well, I have a different opinion. The things I teach, and I know where we're at, and it's everything is shaken up right now, right? So the whole wide world is it's so interesting energetically. Yeah, I'm talking about. And then with the pandemic being the whole wide world is like, are you with them, are you not with them, yeah. So it's just coming to the surface. That's what it
Yes.
is. And then and then also I say, well, I'll just wait out the wave. I'll just ride out the whatever madness is happening here. And then some people are, "Yeah, you have to, yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, because we are waking up from, and we need to wake up from, and that's, I don't know what's going to happen next. We now have the virus and all the consequences, but the era of planning is all about we take care of you. So we didn't have to think for ourselves. Everything is been taken care of. You go to school, you pay your taxes, you go to your job, and we never thought about why we were all stuck in a traffic jam every day, in the morning and in the evening. It was that's just how it is. And now we have to work from home, and now lots of people think, why did I do that? Like, you are waking up literally from a kind of slavery circle. I sometimes, how I feel it is just without thinking, just doing over and over, like a hamster. I don't know, is that English for? But in the treadmill.
Yeah.
And we have to take care of ourselves first.
Yes.
And from who we are, we have to take a look at the outside world, and we have to decide what we want to do and with whom we want to collaborate, in which way we want to arrange things, instead of just blindly go after everything that's there.
Exactly.
And I feel like and that's why it's wobbly. People are already awakening, and they just suddenly, like, they see everything through a different lens, and they are the conspiracy theorists. They are critical, and they don't go with anything anymore. They have questions. And there are people that want to go back to how it was, because that is safe. if you don't have to think for yourself and everything is arranged and you just want to focus, and it's not to make people to put them in a box, but to say it in general, it is kind of, yeah, it's for some people, and also maybe the older people, that's the way you live your life. How, my choice? No, he has to do that for me. Why the government has to do that? So it's for me, it felt like the last period is a rude awakening of our, yeah, like a golden cage
Yes.
that we were in. But we were in a treadmill, and now I feel like the door is open and some people are already outside and looking, oh my goodness. Okay, well, this was a beautiful, it was golden, but yeah, there's a whole different world.
Yeah.
And what do I want? So yeah, it's interesting, and I really love to see that this shift is going to happen.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and then this is a real good one from Lisa. The collective, the crossover planning, so our
Yes.
era of planning, is afraid of the individual mutants, the crossover sleeping figures.
Yeah.
Because we're going to this, and individuality is change the status quo. It's
Yes.
mutative. It's, and that's what they are feeling that these individual mutants are going to do.
Right.
And that will bring resistance.
Yeah, and that's what we see now, right?
Yeah.
And that's also what we talk about in OC16. Well, all the world is also like a huge OC16 with every aspect of it. And individuality is not something that the WA is excited about.
Yeah.
So it will hold on its grip. Also the communal grip, because the era of planning is all about community, support, bargains, etc. It will hold on to the last drop of energy they have. So it is kind of a battle, because everyone that benefits from the energy that's there right now, and also materially benefits, because it's also, the era of planning is one of the most material eras until now. It wants to hold on to that, what they have and what they have gained. So it will be interesting, but I really feel like step by step people are making different choices. And well, we can talk about it for hours, because I really love this topic. So
I know this is one of my favorite topics too. I think Heidi was asking, what is OC16? And so when we mention OC16 or WA, WA, that is a large group dynamic. So it's one of the things that we take a look at. And we have a course after the BG5 certification that's focused on OC16 and large group dynamics. And so, as Linda was saying, this large group dynamic of the OC16 and the elements that condition us in a larger group are present worldwide. And so again, awakening from this illusion and delusion. And again, I love, Natalie mentioned, it's moving from the collective also to the individual. I think Lisa was also talking about that as well, right? The collective, they want you to, to believe what we believe, right? And if you don't believe what we believe, then, then it rocks their world, where the individual is, I believe what I believe, right?
yeah.
And, you can believe what you believe, that's fine. And I'm going to believe what I believe, that's more individual. Whereas collective is about sharing, right? Sharing the same beliefs, sharing the same illusion and delusion. And people want to hold on to the illusion and delusion. This was amazing this weekend. So the mask mandates have been relaxed here in Colorado. And I would go into one store, and all of the staff would have masks on. And so most of the customers that were in wore masks. I went to another store where the staff did not wear masks and most of the people did not wear masks. So I can feel the sort of confusion going on when I'm out in the general public, like, do you wear a mask? Do you not wear a mask? Do you social distance? Do you not social distance? So there's kind of this illusion and delusion that we've been in, of the masks and the social distancing and what we should do. And now that that's removed, now what do we do? It's really interesting, the anxiety that it can cause, right? When the collective, if everybody's doing it, right? If everybody's doing it, then I'm okay. But if some people are and some people aren't, what do I do? Right? So it can be very disturbing as well. Let's take a quick look at the 16. All right. And one of the things that you'll notice with this pattern, of the global pattern, is it moves backwards, right? We're moving forwards, and then taking a look at the 16, moving into next week, starting tomorrow or later this evening. We're moving into the 16, depending on where you live. We're moving into the 16. So when we take a look at the 16 is about skill. It's about enthusiasm. It's the skill of living and life as art. So that's why I picked this picture, because it was kind of like life as art. So it's the great art of enriching life by the harmonic channeling of energy. It's experimentation to find the perfect skillful expression. And you make your mark in the world as a keen critic, especially if you have trait 16, as a keen critic, skilled performer, or through your talent and enthusiasm for living. You need to identify with a skill or skills and then dedicate yourself to the repetition of patterns and focusing and practicing until you reach the point of mastery. And that point of mastery transcends the skill itself and it becomes your art. Right? So it's like jazz, right? You practice, and then you just, play like heck. Right? So it is and it's the world awaits the moment when the dancer becomes the dance. Right? That there is no difference between art and life, with the dancer and the dance. When living one's life becomes its own masterpiece. I think this is really beautiful in taking a look at trait 16. And again, if we take a look at trait 1, which we'll be moving into, right, that false enthusiasm, this is almost false enthusiasm. It's almost like, the art is real without without the artist behind it, if you will. So I don't know if anyone has the 16. I don't have the 16. I do have the 48 on the other side. One of the things with the 48 is depth and this is skill. So if you have the 48, like myself, I feel like I don't have the skills and I keep trying to get more depth. On the other side, you may feel like you have the skill, but you don't have the depth. Or when you have the entire strength, again, it's the mastery, right? It's the practicing over and over. And the reason that has to be enthusiasm is because it is something. In order to master anything, you have to do it over and over and over and over and over again. Right. So with human design, and especially BG5 for myself, I mean, it's something that I've literally been doing nonstop for over 10 years. Right. There's something I do with BG5 every single day for 10 years. Right. And I still haven't mastered it. Right. So that's the thing, is that no matter how skillful you are, you never quite master it. Debbie. Hey, Debbie.
Hi, everybody. It's so good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you. Welcome.
Thank you. So I have the 16, and as you've shared that, Karen, it's like what I'm thinking of is a couple things. First off, since I was 12 years old, I love to bake and cook. And to the point where I decided to own my own bakery in Delhi.
Oh,
And so I
wow.
did that back in 88 to 91. But I still continue to cook and bake. I mean, I no longer own the restaurant, but it's to the point where I can just make stuff up. And it feels, so I feel the mastery, if you will, because I don't even need to think about it. I just do it. Yeah.
Mm.
But what also showing up is in my work as a chaplain. And that is just living it. And it's not that I just do it one day. It's the same thing like with going to church. It's not just going to church one day. It's literally living it and being in it. Because there's a special space for it. And it's just, I'm just so surprised of how it just shows up, yet it's in my design. So,
Yeah.
and it's unconscious.
Yes. And that's part of the magic, right? If you have one of these traits, right, you really start to recognize it, and you really start to see it show up and unfold, and especially if it's unconscious, sometimes it takes you by surprise, but in retrospect you can say, wow, yeah, that really is there. I love
Well,
that.
and
Really great examples, Debbie.
Well, and what's so beautiful is I'm learning this through studying human design. We always try to figure out, I don't know why this is in my life, but I'm in human design and studying it and learning it, I'm going, oh, this just makes so much more sense.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Thanks.
Thank you so much, Debbie.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I love it when you come and join us.
Yeah, I also feel like with the skills, but I don't know, I only have the 48. But sometimes your skills, you are not even aware that those are your skills, because you are perfecting it. And then you maybe think by yourself, well, I'm not good enough, so I have to repeat. But most of the time, it's something that comes naturally. That is, your attention is drawn to it. And then I feel like when you only enjoy, like the baking, I'm getting hungry now because I'm thinking, ooh, yeah. I don't like to cook that much, so I'm I'm in the Netherlands, so I cannot come to you, fly to you to have some dinner. No, I'm kidding, but it's when you enjoy something, then that's the only way that you can repeat it.
Yes.
Because otherwise you get bored.
Yes.
And if you enjoy things, you live your life and you are happy, and that's also life as art. It's really getting the most out of your skills and enjoying it. I feel like that it really has to be that combination.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
If I may share, it's a gift then to have the 3 in my profile, because I have a 3-5. And so, right, just experimenting, trial and error. Let me try this. Oh, that didn't work. Okay. And I do that with my baking and cooking all the time. And when it comes to, just being with people in their really darkest moments, it's just learning to be present, but then you also learn if something's working or not.
Yes.
So
exactly.
the trial and error. Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful. Thanks, Debbie. And thanks, Linda. Beautiful. All right, real quickly, I had a hard time finding someone who has trait 20, and the birth time is not exact, so it's possible that she could be 16-1 as well. So either way, this is Raina Telemainer. She's a cartoonist. I don't really know her. I just was looking up, but I just thought it was interesting because the life work theme of the 20 and quality 6 is duality. So you impress others and find fulfillment in your business and industry, bargaining that creates bridging and mutually beneficial associations. So the reason I decided to choose her is she's a cartoonist that created a webcomic Smile, a dental drama. You can see that there's a couple pictures here. She also, Scholastic Press Graphic published it as a graphic novel in 2010, and she suffered from serious mouth injury in her youth and underwent years of orthodontic and dental work. And so using her skills, basically, bridging mutual beneficial associations, since she had to have so much work done on her mouth, because of the mouth injury, right? It ended up, again, sort of the mess is your message as well, right? It ended up being what started her illustrations and her graphics and her awards. So I just thought it was a great example of how that shows up. All right. If any of you know of her, you can say more. But like I said, I haven't heard of her, but I just thought it was an interesting example. All right, so we're going to wrap up here in just a moment. Again, if you are new to BG5 or human design, you can get your career design chart, find out if you have the particular traits that we're talking about, and starting to learn what they are all about. You can also follow us with BG5 Live, find what the trait of the day is, what that influence may be. It can often, like I said, with my husband, with so much energy yesterday, kind of taking a look at the traits, taking a look at that 3420 that we just talked about, finding why sometimes you're like, oh, okay, that's why it's there. And again, you can check out our past BG5 Live episodes either on YouTube or in our free resource library. And again, check out our courses. Our courses are now underway, but we do have new courses coming up in September. And Linda's going to be teaching the foundation course. So we'd love to have you join us. All right, so let's wrap everything up for today, and I would love to hear from each of you, including Debbie. Just what are some things, again, because we're moving into the 16, so we're wrapping up the 20, moving into the 16. What are some things just to pay attention to in this upcoming week?
Yeah, so I'd like to start off. So I usually say watch the world, right? So that's one thing. But the other thing, maybe you will start perfecting something, right? Something you are enjoying, or you are wanting to improve or whatever, right? But and then all of a sudden you have the energy to try again and again, and to do it over and over, to start perfecting some skill or some thing that you like to do. So watch what you will be triggered to, start perfecting this week.
Exactly. Oh, I love that. Beautiful. How about you, Debbie?
I can't think of anything right now. I'm processing in my head is, what is it that I'm currently working on? And I'm constantly working on human design because I want to perfect it. So that's what I can share with that.
Yeah, perfect. Right. So many of you are students. So, perfecting and studying and going deeper and looking at the details, etc. How about for you, Linda?
Well, first for today, it's an opportunity to hear what maybe you blurt out or
True.
what you are going to do in your energy. And be aware of possible connections in your design that has an effect on you, so that you are prepared of what's happening and aware. And also with the 16, maybe you also feel more passion for some things that you like doing, or that you find something that you have been doing a while ago interesting again, that you think, oh, I really need to do that again and to perfect that, or go just maybe a hobby or whatever. I'm not going to think that I will cook or bake. No, I don't believe so.
Maybe maybe the garden like Lisa.
Oh yes, well, my garden, I really also already are feeling, because the weather in the Netherlands is a little bit improving after 2 months of rain, because everything is now blooming and growing, but also the weeds. So I was already feeling the energy to work in my garden. And yeah, if you have the 48, then it's the time to rock.
Yeah.
And otherwise, if you don't have it, maybe you feel that you don't have enough depth to go work on your skills, but maybe you also feel like the art of life, art of living, that you feel like, yeah, I want to do something with my skills. Maybe, I don't know what's going to happen, but be aware and enjoy what's happening.
Yes, exactly. Right. And again, it's the 16 is enthusiasm as well. So what do you have enthusiasm for? Right. And
Exactly.
use the energy that we've had over the last week to catapult you into taking a look at potential skills that you may want to perfect. Awesome. All right, everyone. It has been our absolute pleasure. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we look forward to seeing you all next week. Bye, everyone. Bye-bye.